Hi, I'm Pete Anderson. Before they had vintage guitar stores, I was working at sort of a half-used guitar store vintage place called Saul Bettman's in Los Angeles, and all the players came in there. And that's when I first became aware of D'Addario strings. In the old days, there weren't, you either got banjo strings, like James Burton talked about using banjo strings to get light enough strings, or a lot of these guys got those big strings and tuned down. That's why some of those recordings, the guitars tuned down to E flat or E or D. They did open tunings to get the string to stretch. And when D'Addario came to play, they just blew the market asunder, and continued with their alloys, their longer strings, every aspect of making strings. I can't think of a string company that is as broadly versatile. 0.5s, realizing that a 10.5 does mean something between a 10, the 0.5s, all the alloys, all the new things they're doing, the coated strings, all that stuff. But anyway, I just remember when they hit the market, and they really were revolutionary at that time. And that's kind of when I switched over, because I worked at the guitar store, and I was like, oh, let me try these strings, and far superior, and the way they marketed the string initially. Just was heavy tops, light bottoms, a lot of really creative stuff. They were always open to non-conventional types of string manufacturing. Of course, they've grown exponentially in every direction with Planet Waves and every other aspect of the company. Planet Waves has been extraordinary to me. D'Addario has been extraordinary to me. Supplied me my whole career, and I've done long necks, baritones, basses, flat wounds, half wounds, round wounds, stainless steel. I mean, I've explored every aspect because of the nature of my career and as a guitar player, and using a lot of different scale length guitars, so you're adjusting tensions. Something very creative on the new site that I just saw the other day is, and I have to get into it and figure it out, but is how to figure out your string tension. Because what you want to do, or what I would want to do, is I want to maintain the tension of the string from guitar to guitar. And if I'm varying scale lengths, or if I'm using Bigsby's or vibratos of any kind, whether it's Floyd's or Fender style vibratos, they all affect the tension of the string. And as a professional player, if you're used to playing a certain gauge, that doesn't mean that that gauge is going to translate to every instrument. So hence the 0.5s and all the different uses. And when you get into the longer necks, the strings have to be longer just to make it, especially if it's got a Fender headstock. So to get this E string way up there, they need to make extra long strings. And D'Addario has addressed all those problems. So it's pretty impressive what they've done. I have a recording studio here in Southern California. We call it the Burbank Delta, and we are Planet Wave Max. My wife Sally Browder is a recording engineer and a producer, and Tony Rambo is a recording engineer and producer here, and they are mandatory on Planet Waves. We are rigged, fully rigged. Especially a noticeable difference lately was when we wired up the speaker cable in the studio. So all the cabling that I do for live playing or cabling in the studio for playing is Planet Waves. It's hard to knock a company that's that far in front on every issue and everything that they get involved with.